Welcome back to the Quiet Lesson. In a world where everyone is shouting to prove their existence, composure and silence become the ultimate authority. But how do you stay silent without appearing weak? How can listening become your shield against workplace storms? Today, let's step into three real-world stories about David, Elena, and Marcus. Three valuable lessons on interpersonal wisdom and the art of self-mastery. Story 1. The Trap of Unfiltered Transparency. David was a passionate young department manager. He stepped into his new role with a deeply human philosophy. A great leader must be sincere and reveal all his vulnerable sides to his team. Whenever a project faced high pressure, David did not hesitate to sit down and vent his worries to his subordinates. He shared flaws in his plans and his doubts about executive management. David believed this transparency would bring him and his team closer together. However, reality was harsh. David's anxiety quickly spread. His team began to panic, losing confidence in the department's direction. Even worse, Julian, a rival manager from a neighboring department, incidentally caught wind of David's admissions of weakness. During the next strategic meeting, Julian artfully used the very flaws David had exposed to undermine David's credibility right in front of the board of directors. David bitterly realized the truth. Honesty without strategy is mere naivety. In the workplace, exposing 100% of your panic strips away your protective armor. True maturity means filtering emotions before speaking. Share solutions, never your panic. Story 2. The art of non-reaction to provocation. Now, let's move to a tense executive meeting. Julian, notorious for his manipulative tactics, suddenly turned to Elena and remarked sarcastically in front of all the executives. "I find Elena's report a bit unrealistic. Is your department working on pure emotion rather than looking at data?" Silence fell over the room, all eyes fixed on Elena. The usual scenario would be Elena turning red, getting angry, and immediately arguing to defend herself. That was precisely the trap Julian had set. If Elena lost control, she would be judged as unprofessional. But what did Elena do? She remained silent. 3 full seconds passed in absolute quiet. Elena maintained a serene gaze, looked straight at Julian, offered a gentle smile, and calmly replied, "Thank you for your personal perspective, Julian. Now I invite the board to look at slide number 5 to examine the audited numbers." With just one composed sentence, Elena turned Julian's attack into an awkward joke. The lesson is clear. Provokers only win when they steal your composure. A 3-second pause before reacting is the boundary between impulsivity and true authority. Story 3. The Power of Quiet Competence. In another corner of the company, while colleagues were busy showing off minor achievements on social media or trying to flatter bosses at dinners, Marcus chose a completely different path. He worked in silence. Every evening after work, Marcus spent 2 hours studying the corporation's core database systems, a challenging domain that most people avoided due to its complexity. 6 months later, a severe system crisis struck right in the middle of the year's biggest sales event. Data froze, and millions of dollars in revenue were at risk. Those who usually boasted were now panicked and helpless. At that exact moment, Marcus quietly walked into the server room. Without lengthy explanations, he calmly worked on his keyboard. After 45 minutes, the system was fully restored. That night, Marcus did not need a single word to praise himself. The entire corporation knew who held the real value. Noise creates temporary attention, but true competence builds an irreplaceable position. Be like a classic mechanical watch. The most crucial gears lie hidden deep within, operating quietly, yet governing time itself. Workplace wisdom lies not in how many words you speak, but in knowing when to stay silent and act at the right moment. Silence is not endurance. It is the accumulation of strength for decisive moves. Thank you for listening. Join us in spreading quiet strength by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you never miss our next wisdom lessons. Stay calm, stay clear, and keep growing quietly.